Sa laban namin sa TME, siguro di muna namin iisipin yun kasi mas pagtutunan muna namin ng pansin yung pagpasok namin sa playoffs kasi yung points namin pwede pa yung mahabol eh. Pwede pa siyang mahabol ng mga nasa bottom. Kaya siguro magpa-practice talaga kami ng sobra tapos yung mga game plan namin, execute namin ng maayos kasi kitang-kita naman sa laro na pag di mo na-execute ng tama yung game plan nyo, talagang magpo-fall yung team nyo. Kaya sa MSK, paghahandaan talaga namin sila kasi alam din namin na sila yung nangungunang team ngayon sa PGS at pag-iibayuhin pa namin yung pagpo-practice namin para mapakita yung galing talaga namin as a team.
Sure, matutuwa dyan yung mga hashtag Lando Army dyan sa interview na yun. But ladies and gentlemen, maligayang pagbabalik dito sa 2018 Bacchus Pro Gaming Series Spring Split. So syempre, bago natin pag-usapan yung nangyari kaninang game, pakilala muna kami bilang casters nyo. I'm Mark the Catholic Service Fam at syempre, kasama ko ngayon si Opa Vulcan.
So judging from the interview with Lando, I gotta say for BRE, at least the mentality entering this game is there. They know their mistakes and they are showing the respect to MSK that, yes, number one sila. So let's prepare. We did see that coming from game 1. BRE, they tried to hold their ground in the laning phase, but the draft itself was very difficult for BRE to try and overcome. Who knows? In game 2, can BRE bounce back?
Yeah, hopefully this is something na makapag-adjust sila. If anything, that's actually one of the things na medyo nagsastruggle ako pagdating sa BRE. Sometimes their drafting is A-okay. Sometimes it's a bit shaky, but we'll just have to see. Sana nga, Vulcan, since week 7 na nga tayo, this is the last week before playoffs, makikita naman natin yung adjustment. Kasi maganda naman yung naging improvement ng BRE Esports. It's just that there are still other things. I think almost every team naman talaga has something that they could still improve on. So hopefully that's something that we do see from BRE in this next round.
Improvements don't stop. It always keeps improving. You need to always aim better. And for BRE, started from the bottom, now they're here. Started kind of rough from the start. Now they're at the 5th place. This is still not yet in the green zone for BRE. They need to try and take away a point. They need to at least get most out of their first match and the last match they have coming into the last week of the group stages, because you saw in the standings they're kind of tied with Nanga Esports when it comes to the 5th place. They covered it. 6th place will be the safe zone there, but judging from tomorrow's games, who knows what might happen. But now moving on from game 1, now game 2, BRE really not really in short, not in my opinion, when it comes to that game itself. Jaime showing great aggression, but it's misplaced when it comes to timing.
Exactly. And I don't know, man. Yun yung medyo nakita naman nating habit na ni Jaime in some of the games that he has played. So that's something that BRE needs to take into account of. Just kind of give him a tap on the shoulder. You might want to take it.
Gising ka.
Yeah, hindi naman gising. Pero kumbaga, hinay-hinay minsan. Chill lang. Chill. You don't have to force it.
You need to be disciplined. You need to listen to your team.
Yun yung tamang word.
Yeah, and you heard from Lando in the interview what he said. They know they were wrong. They know their drafting is a bit, like I just said, Arctic, medyo hindi sure. But let's see. In game 2, can their drafting be on point? We'll see. Once we move on to the drafting phase, but I want to see BRE, the improvements never stopping. I mean, the goal here for BRE, being a new team entering the PGS, if you make it to playoffs, it speaks volumes. It speaks a lot for you in the sense that grabe kayo, you are actually entering the PGS in your first split. You make it to playoffs, achievement already done. But let's get to the matchup rundown. MSK versus BRE.
Yes, ang nakikita nga natin, Vulcan, as far as the rundown goes, looks like both sides will be sticking to their guns kung ano yung mga players na nakaka-field nung game 1. Sila pa rin naman. So unfortunately, we won't be seeing either Shanna from BRE or June from MSK for this game. So tingnan natin though how this game 2 will unfold.
Let's see, because we did see in the matchup rundown, Shanna will not be playing again in our game 2. Game 1, it was Apdunk, and again in game 2, it would be Apdunk again. But let's get straight to the drafting phase. BRE Esports on the blue side versus MSK on the red side. Let's get straight to it, Arctic.
Yes, looking at the balance here thrown out thus far, dalawang champions ang dinedicate kay Exosen. So Talia as well as Azir gonna be taken off the board. But wow, oh wow, before I check out the Well, bans for Mineski very straightforward. Actually, it's a little more heavier towards XDXP. Oo, Flex yung Camille can be top, but I think it's more towards XDXP talaga. So, what's really interesting, what really caught my eye here is Mineski instantly going for that Rise pick.
And this is a Rise entering the patch 8.4 with a Love's Chapter as kind of the go-to item. And not just that, the Seraph's Embrace and evolving into the Archangel Staff, ridiculous amount of mana, not to mention the AP you get from it is just monstrous. So you can see the return of, let's say, mana-hungry champions scaling well, like Rise. We're seeing it right now. But for Mineski, look at their band's heavy focuses onto the jungle side. Camille, Sejuani, Skarner, rising in popularity, has been removed in the phase 1.
Yeah, and speaking of junglers, by the way, because of this focus, that's one of the things that I like about XDXP. He's one of those junglers na might not necessarily be at the top as far as if you're gonna rank all the junglers in the PGS, pero nakikita mo yung improvement, tsaka nakikita ko talaga yung effort niya na going into every single game. Talagang may adjustment siyang nagagawa, whether it be in what champion he needs to use to para magampanan yung role niya within the composition, or it could be yung effort din na bringing new champions to the table. Kaya nga nang sinasabi natin, it was refreshing to see him be one of the first few PGS players to field Nunu, field Skarner. But let's go ahead and check out the second rotation of picks though.
I mean, judging from BRE's last pick, can this be a Darius locked in? Because when it comes to a Darius 2, a Sion matchup, it's kind of favorable for Darius because of the upper hand can quickly cancel out the Q from the Sion. Not to mention, Sion being a huge wall, a really big target. You can stack up your hemorrhage stacks right there and then execute him down. And Darius has been adjusted in a way buff in patch 8.4, and looking at the bans coming from BRE, it will be the Azir in phase 1 and focusing onto Kaigu's Gangplank and the Top Kent from TG.
Man, this Darius though, just to add on to what you've been saying, because it's interesting that this was fielded for Barcix Rage Esports kasi kagabi lang, I was actually talking to some of the viewers and one of them was a Darius main, tapos in-express nga niya yung how Darius had a little bit more pout to him as of the 8.4 patch. Pero tignan natin if that will actually transition to something positive for BRE. Like, would this be good for Lando in the top side going up against Taigu? Or if not played correctly, could potentially be a detriment.
But played incredibly well. BRE has amazing tools to try and counter the, I would say, the sustain coming from Mineski's top lane Kaigu. But when it comes to mobility, note that for the Rise, it has been a bit tweaked when it comes to the more interaction. If you can cancel it, it gets cancelled. But when it comes to the mobility, the peel coming from TG, Lando will have a very hard time, a difficult time closing in onto his targets. But from Mineski's side, they have what? The Rise entering into a Galio matchup.
Yeah, and I mean, in order for Lando's Darius to really shine in a match, we'll just have to see how the composition goes down. But ladies and gents, hashtag BRE win ba? Hashtag MSK win ba? Pag-usapan yan as we head on to the rift in just a little bit.
And hashtag... So here we are. This is going to be match 1 game 2 of Mineski versus BRCX Rage Esports. This is match point in the best of 3 series. Can BRE take away 1 point against Mineski? We'll see it unfold on the rift.
Yeah, and going further in on Lando's effectivity on this Darius, because one of the tricky parts here with Darius is yun nga yung lack of mobility niya. So
it's incredibly easy to kite.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
And the thing here with the Darius is that at least kung titingnan mo yung composition ng BRCX Rage Esports, they have elements to help Lando try to get into these fights. They have the potential initiation, pretty solid initiation na manggagaling kay XDXB tsaka kay Highway. And if ever you need that speed boost, andun na naman si Apdong on the Karma.
And yes, the Karma is there. Maybe we'll see the return of the Twin Shadows Karma, which has been very popular and kind of nostalgic. And yung minsan lumang patch, you get to remember, you get to reflect, sa patch na ganito, ganito si Karma dahil sa Twin Shadows. Now we're seeing him back in the item. And not just that, the mobility and the shield that you get, the engage is there for BRE, but I'm really scared for Lando because he's really running a risky top lane because the Sion can clear out the waves with his E, and that slow alone will make a very difficult play for Lando to close in onto Zion.
We've been talking about how Darius is one of those champions that has been given a bit of a buff ngayong 8.4, but a champion that has risen to the top of his game is actually being used by Kaigu. So with this Zion, gaya nga ng pinag-uusapan natin, I mean, we've had these behind-the-scenes talks kung saan Zion, he's been rising up the ladders. I think you've been using him quite a bit as well, and
It's entertaining to use him because of the insane clear in the harass with the arcane comment, but we won't be seeing it in this game too. It will be the glacial augment that we do see in the international scene, because it depends on which you want to go for. Want to go for more, let's say, slow the augment, or do you want to go for the comment, which gives amazing damage and poke. But note that in the Inspiration 3, we know that it has been changed quite a bit when it comes to the last runes. Let be the duration of the potion, the extra movement speed. We may see this in, let's say, Kaigo. Who knows?
Yeah, and interesting enough, Kaigo is running one of the newer runes as well, yung bone plating. Nakita nga natin kanina nung nakafocus tayo sa top side na nakaproc na siya. You see those 3 kind of shields swirling around. So just a little bit of insight para sa mga summoners na hindi pa familiar sa bagong rune na yun. So there you have it.
8.4 really offering a lot of changes in the runes, in the itemization. But what I'm really scared for is Lando right now in the top, but he does clutch away from the smash, Zion smash. He will survive. Right now, note that he burned his flash. So James, knowing baka hindi siya nakuward sa river, so maybe he may go for a return gank.
Tsaka ito yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina na this could be a little bit of a detriment to Lando, na yung lack of mobility niya and the fact that his flash is down. Kapag nagkaroon ulit ng gank na galing kay James dito sa top side, kakailanganin na ni Lando na lakarin lang just to walk into the safety of his turret. And you know, Darius in himself, he's a little bit of a slow bugger there. So,
super slow.
might
And
be tricky.
Kaya sa game 1, nakita natin yung kay James, nag-gank siya sa mid lane habang walang flash si Jaime. So, maybe we might see this in the top lane again. First blood still at stake here. And when it comes to the matchup here, I'm really looking forward to how Lando can use this Darius. But when it comes to the side, yes, that's difficult. Yung slow sa E tapos Q, great combo. Oh, look at that. That's just pure. That's actually Jaime really being not fearful at all, not respecting the turret. He does have the damage reduction, but when it comes to the late game, I'm scared because yung setups and base, lakas talaga yung bigay ng ability power and mana.
Yeah, Exo's just gonna spam skills like there's no tomorrow. No worry about mana whatsoever.
And this is a Rise that has been begged to really come back in the patch 8.4. And when you fully upgrade it to the Archangel Staff, 1,400 mana. And Rise kind of scales with mana itself, plus AP. That's a go-to item. Instant locker for Rise.
Ooh, man, Lando just having a little bit of a tricky time here. And that's kind of unfortunate kasi gaya nga ng sinasabi natin, aside from yung fact na Lando kailangan niyang mag-ingat-ingat pagdating sa potential ganks na manggagaling kay James, he also needs to kumbaga distansya amigo sa kay Kaigo dito sa top side, because otherwise he's just gonna keep on feeling those cues like there's no tomorrow.
But okay, let's give it the fact that for Lando, yes, he's having a really difficult time because of the E harass coming from Kaigo. But if Kaigo is in range for that apprehend coming from Lando, he would have to be using a flash immediately. He has to respect the fact that the slow from the A plus the W combined together is going to be ridiculous. He has to respect that, but Kaigo, knowing this, great distance from Lando.
And you know what's really tricky here is that sabihin nating si Lando, iwasan niya yung mga Q ni Zion. But amidst that, okay, you stay distance from the Qs. Now you have to deal with the E's being thrown at you whenever minions are shoved into Lando. So nakita rin natin, it also deals kind of a bit of a punch there.
And it's really difficult because of the Soul Furnace is gonna give a lot of health. So look at that. Sakto yung trap. Flash out siya. Updog in the end still will be giving the first blood.
Yes, unfortunately Updog had to be a casualty right there. So, again, interesting enough. Let's go ahead and see if they could hold their ground here in this bot lane. Kasi nakikita nga natin medyo nakashoved in tong si Gary tsaka si TG into yung turret itong si Ardai tsaka si Apdong. Kaya here in the mid lane though, we're going to be seeing again.
Look at that Tan flashing in and immediately kicks EXO in the bucket. That's going to be Jaime's bursting the rise.
Man, oh man, not bad at all coming in from the mid laner of BRE. You have to take note. I mean, even with James in the vicinity, Jaime was still pretty healthy. Kaya dealt with that just fine. And man, let's go.
I gotta say for Jaime, the fact that he got that kill from the rise is great, but it's really difficult when in the late game, this rise is gonna be a beast. And we're seeing the catalyst being picked up by EXO. Oh, what's this? Unstoppable onslaught. Lands onto Lando. He has to survive. He needs his Q for the heal. Oh, Kaigo flashes in to deny that heal, but in the end, bumps into XP. Roar of the Slayer will slow him down.
In all fairness, even though they weren't able to go full on onto Kaigo, I mean, it's better than Lando suffering as a casualty. Kaya, okay na rin yun. At least na-salvage ni XTXB yung buhay ni Lando sa gank ngayon. Because if ever magkaroon ng instance na makapag-build up lang tong si Kaigo because of all the constant pressure, all the constant harass onto Lando, then, I mean, that's gonna be a lot that BRE has to deal with.
And when it comes to for BRE, they can try and counter the aggression coming from MSK because they do have the Galio when the level 6 is unlocked. Yes, it is. There's the heroic entrance coming from Jaime. And he catches the hook. Then he gets toppled out by the trap. Great play there, combo. And the lantern for the choo-choo train.
Yeah, that was quite the train ride right there for Mineski's bot lane. Pero
Sakto yung he connects with the Q that brings in Gary with him.
yeah, but Ardai getting a little bit impatient, both Ardai and Apdong, not respecting the potential initiate with the lockdown coming in from both TG and Gary. So, yun yung medyo kailangan lang mag-ingat. I mean, especially running a Tristana, if you're gonna just kind of fall behind, it's gonna be much more harder to reach your optimal spikes pagdating ng later parts ng game.
I mean, when it comes to the coordination, it's right there. Looks like that will be a go signal for XP. Goes in for that knockup. Jaime's here. The lantern, the dark passage for the save.
Yes, great save there coming in from TG, pero dito sa top side.
Lando, trying to back away. Jaime's kiting away. There's the smash. Oh, he does flash away, so he will not get knocked up there. Jaime's and Kaigo not chasing Lando.
Man, but still, para siguro kay Lando, medyo nakaka-frustrate na to na for the most part in this game, both his flashes thus far had to be used to disengage or escape from both Kaigo and James. So, overall though, in all fairness to Lando, kahit kanina pa siya pressured dito sa top side, CS difference isn't as massive as I expected. Medyo sizable na siya. Pero at least it's not really lingering like halfway na people, let's say, 78 to 36. It's still within reasonable...
Oh, I'm scared when the hook does land from TG. Gary immediately follows it up with the trap. Then TG goes for the flay. Coordination in the aggressive bot lane of MSK is still there. And for BRE, they need to try and what's that sound I hear? The onslaught, what's happening around the map, but the hook is going to be the center attention in the map here. That's going to be the box laid down here. They will not escape that death trap. Ignite for the Druid and the ace in the hole for that double.
Man, oh man, Mineski's bot lane is not taking any prisoners from Barcy X-Page Esports. Getting the kill onto both Ardai and Apdong. And napaka-unfortunate kasi, like I mentioned, I was really hoping that BRE's bot lane would at least respect the death sentence coming in from TG. Kasi as soon as that death sentence lands, it's almost pretty much guaranteed na nakita nga natin na Mineski has that coordination. Let's go ahead and check out what happened in the mid lane. So XTXB was kind of forced to flash away from a 3-man gang coming in from Mineski. But unfortunately, dahil then Jaime did have to suffer the consequence.
And when you're talking about respecting the level 6 of Jaime, you need to respect the level 6 of Kaigo with the response, the roam from the top to the mid. It's a straight line, so it's a free rotation from Kaigo. And we're seeing right now from BRE, they will put their bot lane duo in the top lane. Let's see, can they try and remedy the disaster that happened in the bot lane. First turret pa yan.
Yeah, quite. I'd have to agree with you there, Vulcan. I mean, I want to put it lightly, pero in all honesty, that's kind of what happened for both Ardai and Aptong, and it's such a deficiency that they're at right now. And kung titignan mo, 4-0 on Gary, that's quite the lead that he has on this Caitlyn. So it's gonna be quite painful.
And he has the static shift. Rush in, BG. The hook will change everything. Will they dodge the hook? That's gonna be... Oh, will the heroic entrance? There he comes. That's the save here. Ace and Hole gets blocked by Hammer. Teleport coming in. Exo's here. Looks like Lando is not yet there. It's going to be difficult. He's trying to get the stacks in to get the resets, but in the end, MSK has superior damage. And Lando trying to force back. One more for the gap close. Exo aiming for Aptong. He gets rooted down. Exo all alone in the blue side. He is forced to flash away.
Yeah, EXO was a little bit trigger happy there, pero didn't suffer as a casualty, and that does force BRE to disperse at mabibigyan ng pagkakataon yung MSK na just to take this first tier turret towards the top side.
Engage back in. Flame. Yes, there it is for the deny, but instead XP will try to make it work here. Teleport coming in. It's going to be Jaime joining the fight. What's going to happen here? There's the last bounce. Does not catch anyone there. Lando with a dunk. He does take down Kaigo. The Soul Furnace is active here. Lando close to death. Gary takes the last hit. Gary takes down the turn and takes down Aptong. That's going to be the triple.
Man, what a cleanup coming in from MSK. Gary is just on fire on this Caitlyn. 7-0-2 now. I mean, I keep on going back to this KDA for the Caitlyn, but I mean with good reason, because Gary is pretty much at a point wherein nakita naman natin, BRE tried to make that effort to try to reach that backline, but combine the fact that Gary on this Caitlyn nandun in range, so is already safe, almost has that safety as far as distance goes. Plus the fact that you have a solid front line coming in from MSK that's not falling behind across the board. So, napakahirap talaga si BRE. It's such a shame.
It's difficult because we're seeing Fernando forced to rush the Spirit Visage. So the cleaver that you would see under Darius. But here is the replay. Let's have a breakdown.
So yun, nagkaroon ng initiate galing kay XDXT. Medyo nagpa-flashback ako sa week 1 ng Varsity Rage Esports. Kung kada initiate ni XDXT, made-deny lang. So, looks like Lando is trying to salvage the fight. Was able to get Kaigo in all fairness, but from here on out, look at where Gary's at right now. Just absolutely still healthy, raring to go in the fight. And Jaime, unfortunately, tries to go in onto the backline of MSK, pero with the rest of BRE wiped out, there's really not much he could have done at that point.
BRE scrambled in the top lane. They focused too much onto Kaigo instead of getting the let's bounce onto the key targets. That's going to be BRE focusing onto Kaigo instead, leaving Gary to just free hit as he plays. The turret was kind of low. They did overcommit. You see how Aptong was trying to stay under the turret to save his life. But one hit again for that double and then the triple.
Man, and this is so unfortunate for BRE. I think, okay, let's see what Dino will do here.
Oh, flash in, but gets denied by the Plague. Here comes XP. Really connected, low on health, he's getting shredded. He uses the last bounce to get away. Round war is here. Hamas executes Jaime.
Man, oh man, looks like BRE, they are on the run. And take note, technically sila pa dapat yung lamang dun sa point na yun
that's unfortunate.
Because of their numbers advantage. But because of how behind they are right now, they couldn't deal with the brute force coming in from MSK dahil sa laki ng lamang, especially nang gagaling kay Garena. I mean, he's not even scared of just going to continue with the fight. He just keeps his distance, auto attacks away, and just spreads through BRE so beautifully. So, napaka-unfortunate kasi nakikita naman natin na even though BRE has the initiation tools, Lando though,
comes in with the entrance with 2-man knockoff, but they won't follow it up because they're scared. I mean, Minaski at this point, look at the KDA, the gold, the items of Gary. Not to mention the traps being laid down. It will be very difficult for BRE to try and even get close.
I'd have to agree with you there, Broken. Tignan mo rin where BRE is at right now. I mean, it's such a shame kasi in all fairness to them, I like the effort na they're trying to make plays to try to get back into the game. But let's say even though they get in onto Mineski, let's go ahead and check out what damage they dish out. Unfortunately, medyo kapos pa. You have a decent amount of AP coming in from Jaime. Ardai not even near completion of his first item.
Oh, that's caught. That's the collapse. He does have to W, but won't survive the remaining damage being dealt by Mineski.
Yes, but yeah, as I was saying, even with an initiate coming in from BRE, unfortunately, pagdating sa damage to back that up, they're still quite far. So I'd like to think that BRE, one way that they could potentially
Flash,
get...
oh, very close call. Reactive flash coming from Ardai.
But yeah, BRE, in order for them to come back, they have to kind of hope that this game lasts a little bit longer. XDXB is
Heading to something here. Where's the let's bounce they need? But look at Gary, not even close to danger. Ham is closing in. Okay, go for the dive onto the turret. They don't care. Hammers goes in, focusing on the Lando, but Gary will finish him up. Unstoppable Onslaught will stop him up, knocks him to the air, and that's going to be the double for Gary. Jaime left alone. The Q is there for the slow, and the ace in the hole will not be enough. Axel goes over the wall for the flash, very close to that. Jaime trying to survive, goes to the turret, one more hit. Axel will get the kill.
And Ardai is up and running, but the question is, he's a bit behind. I don't think he'll be able to defend this inhibitor. It looks like Mineski will take it just fine. The rest of BRE, they're slowly coming back up now. So I think Mineski will respect that. Back na sila.
Very difficult because when we saw from that fight itself, Mineski just not giving a care in the world. Goes for the tower dive because the amount of gold, the amount of lead they have at this point is monstrous, I would say. But let's go to the replay to see what happened in the mid lane.
Yeah, XTXP tries to go to the backline to create a set for Varsity Esports. But gaya ng sinasabi ko, because of where Mineski's at right now, with the lead that they have, even though BRE was able to get a solid initiate, it all comes down to the damage and the follow-up. Mineski had all the elements working for them to make sure that Gary was well protected. Plus the fact that you have to take note, maagang namatay si Ardai sa fight na yun. So, instantly, sa simula pa lang ng fight na yun, bitin na agad yung Varsity Esports pagdating sa damage output nila sa skirmish na yun.
And from the fight itself, BRE, they weren't ready to fight. Jaime just coming straight from the fountain. It was a 4-man fight at the beginning. Oh wow, they even had enough time to take down the Rift Herald. So that's danger for them. Barry will be live in 1 minute and 36 seconds. It's a matter of time for Mineski to try and close up this game. Jaime is on stealth. And he does bust to shut him away. How? But still, Jaime gets taken out by Jaime. He tries to get away with a hero's entrance. That's going to be Lando, timing for Kaigo. He is getting slowed there. He gets trapped there. All focus on the Kaigo. Gets the left bounce under that turret. He flashes over that wall. Survives.
Exo is in the vicinity now.
Jaime goes in for the taunt. That's going to be an engage from BRE. They're clumped up in the choke. So Gary again laying the traps in. Laying the traps so they cannot escape. Lando will not get played back, but Gary's rage will be enough.
Man, I feel for BRE right now. Like I mentioned, even with the effort of trying to make things happen, I guess, okay.
Fancy footwork.
Yeah.
That's enough for Aptom to leave the safety of his turret.
But unfortunately, at the end of the day, Mineski, they are going to continue the siege. But yun nga, gaya nga sinasabi ko, nang inaya ko sa effort ng BRE, they have the right mindset in a way to try to make plays. Pero, like I mentioned, at the end of the day, you have to put into consideration where you're at as far as where you're standing in terms of levels, in terms of itemization. And even with those initiations, still far from being able to just go full on.
And the Baron will be live in 16 seconds. The Rift Herald, the Eye of the Herald is still available. It's nearing its half duration, so it will not expire. So maybe for Mineski, they can just pop the Herald in the lane and go straight for the Baron. But instead, they are really focusing on the blue slide of BRE. Look at James proccing that Dusk Blade, gets slowed there, and the extra damage. He immediately leaps away from XXP and the Lantern. Twerk a bit, boy, and he gets to safety.
Twerk indeed, Vulcan, but still, it's like Mineski knowing very well.
Oh, Flash gets the slow off on the Dusk Blade. Hook will connect. That's going to be a pile up from the Mineski squad.
Man, look at how confident Mineski is, just having full control over this map. They don't even care where Varsity Esports is at, because they know very well just how heavy their lead is right now. And it will be a Baron Nashor for Mineski.
It still won't happen for XDXP. Realmorph will teleport them there. Oh, he gets singled out again. Look at the damage dealt by Gary. And at this point, XXP trying to make some work here. He got the kill from Hamas. Cell division. We had cell division there.
Whoa!
Oh! Great buster shot by Ardai. Flings back Exo into the starting point. But he does get his revenge there for that interaction.
In all fairness to DXB, that's not a bad consolation na napatay niya si James. But again, we have to go back to how that actually helps BRE. Kung unti-unti ba silang makabalik sa game. Unfortunately, still far from. But MSK, now that they have the Baron, BRE, they have to commit to this last stand. They want to try to keep this game alive and kicking.
This is very difficult. And the hook. Ooh, very close call. Unstoppable onslaught is still available. He will not use it for now. But the turrets are exposed. TG trying to land some hooks here. And for Mineski, what an astounding performance in match 1. And closing this match with 2-0, entering the last week of the group stages. This will solidify the first seed.
Indeed, man. Mineski, they're just milling through inhibitors. They're just ready to take this Nexus.
The Nexus is very low. Lasky will wrap up this fight. They have the Baron on their side. James closing in. He's aiming for Ardai. He goes away with a rocket drop. He's in safety for now. That will be the last Nexus standing for BRE. Time's ticking, but Mineski wants to get more blood. And Ardai just watching his teammates die. He's not gonna defend it. He's pleased. And it's more of a friendly stand-up here, but that's going to be the Welmer. Oh, he does make the outplay. Oh, sayang!
Ooh, Ardai tries to make a move there, but it's like things aren't done yet. Broken, they're still having a shot.
I love that Mineski is going out with a bang in this last game, and enough of BRE are having so much fun in this game. But the Nexus is exposed. The Rift Herald will join for the dance here, and this is going to be match 1 being secured by Mineski with a 2-0.
Yes, there you have it, folks. Ladies and gents, 2-0 indeed, as Vulcan said. Congratulations, as Mineski, top seed, officially heading to the playoffs.
Ooh, what a game it was. I can never get used to how Mineski is so quick to turn, crushing lane and then immediately getting straight advantage. That's what you expect from Mineski.
Man, that was absolutely insane coming in from Mineski right there. Barca X-Rage Esports. Well, in all fairness to them, I think that game, because at one angle, I could look at it as Mineski. In all fairness, talagang ang lakas na nila ngayon for this particular split. We're actually looking at a potential contender that could represent us at GPL and make us very proud. But at the same time, looking at Barca X-Rage Esports naman, I think it's not just the fact that sila yung mas baguan sa PGS. I feel like looking at how some of the players play, particularly Ardai, medyo uncharacteristic yung mga iba niyang galaw sa ref. I'm not sure if it could have been nerves kasi gaya ng sinasabi ko, he's usually the one that falls earlier in the fights kasi merong certain, alam mo yun, yung medyo asim factor na pumapasok talaga but exactly. But I think it's just could be a mix of nerves and I don't think could be a skill gap as well, but I think there was also nerves in play for Barca X-Rage Esports. So, with that though, in all fairness, with Mineski, it's so hard to figure out who the MVP could be. But from what I heard, it looks like TG will actually be the official MVP for this match, coming in from Mineski.
So shout out to TG and to Mineski for winning match 1 with a beautiful performance there, immediately solidifying their spot as the first seed, moving on to the playoffs. And shoutouts also for TJ's hooks there. Those were the game-changing plays. And I think this is concluding. This will conclude our first match. We will be moving on to the match 2, which would be Naga versus TME. Team Manila Eagles, the defending champions. Stay tuned after the short break. We have been the Shoutcasters. My name is Vulcan. With me was Arctic. We will continue the 2018 Back as Pro Gaming Series after the short break. The heroic entrance, there he comes, that's the save here. Eisenhower gets blocked by Hammer. Teleport coming in. Exo's here. Looks like Lando is not yet there. It's going to be difficult. He's trying to get the stacks in to get the resets, but in the end, Mineski has superior damage. And Lando trying to force back. Realmort for the gap close. Exo aiming for Apdog. He gets rooted down. Exo all alone in the blue side. He is forced to flash away. Back in, play. Yes, there it is for the deny, but instead Mineski will try to make it work here. Teleport coming in. It's gonna be Jaime joining the fight. What's gonna happen here? There's the last bounce. Does not catch it over there. Lando with a dunk. He does take down Kaigo. The Soul Burn isn't active here. Lando just close to death. Gary takes the last hit. Gary takes down the turn and takes down Lapdog. That's going to be the triple.
Yeah,
He's going to be with the hero's entrance. That's going to be Lando. Time for Kaigo. He is getting slowed there. He gets trapped there. All focus on the Kaigo. Gets the left bounce under the turn. He flashes over that wall. Survives.
Actually, is in the vicinity now.
Jaime goes in for the taunt. That's going to be an engage for BRE. They're clumped up in the choke. So Gary again lay the traps in. Lay the traps so they cannot escape. Lando will not get played back, but Gary's rage will be enough.
Man, I feel for BRE right now. Like I mentioned, even with the effort of trying to make things happen, I guess, okay,
That's kicking, but Mineski wants to get more blood. Ardai just watching his teammates die. He's not going to defend it. He's pleased. And it's more of a friendly stand-up here, but that's going to be the Whelmer. Oh, he does make the outplay. Oh, Sayang!
oh, Ardai tries to make a move there, but it's like things aren't done yet. Broken move is still having a fun.
I love Mineski is going out with the bag in this last game, and enough of BRE are having so much fun in this game. But the Nexus is exposed. The Rift Herald will join for the dance here, and this is going to be match 1 being secured by Mineski with a 2-0.
Yes, there you have it, folks. Ladies and gents, 2-0 indeed. As Vulcan said, congratulations. As Mineski, top seed, officially heading to the playoffs.
Ooh, what a game it was. The